Hey guys, it is Talk Tuesday. I am down here in Santa Cruz and I realized that my video from last week about the changes that are happening from Fannie Mae and Freddie Mac for the HOAs did not make it to you. And so I'm going to post that anyway. It's not going to roll out until August. When I initially made the video, I didn't realize that it was going to be delayed, but a lot of excitement about that because I believe that that is going to open up a bottleneck of inventory that's been stuck. And so those sellers want to go on to the next stage or do something with it, and many have opted to rent until they can get the price they need, or buyers have just paused because the interest rates on some of these places are so much higher that it makes it unaffordable. So we'll see how that rolls out. But the reason I wanted to talk to you today is I'd like to talk to you about the headlines and what people are talking about in real estate headlines. I can't even begin to touch the national and the world headlines. But today's headlines were that property taxes are increasing. Why 3% of nationwide inventory is falling. And I thought that was really interesting. And I am a data nerd when it comes to real estate. I track it every morning and I track many things, and I just like trends because I think it's really important. It tells the story. And so I look at each neighborhood, each area. And for the purpose of this, I just want to talk about county stuff because while they're talking about prices are declining by 3% nationwide, I thought, well, nationwide and what happens here locally and even in San Jose and whatnot are always so different. Even in our backyard in our neighborhoods, what happens is so different from Aptos to Boulder Creek, just very different markets. So I wanted to see, where were we like last year? Have we really seen a major decrease in our prices? And let me say this about this, like, this is game time in real estate. This is where you see most of the inventory come on. It's the best time. It's proven. This is the best time to put your home on the market. More buyers are coming out, and they even say Zillow, I think realtor.com are saying right now, the week of April 8th through the week of April 15th or something like that is their numbers. And so what does that look like for us? Well, I did some research. I just went back to my books last year and I said, where were we last year? Well, today our median home price in Santa Cruz County is 1,425. Okay. And last year it was 1,495. So when you look at those numbers and they say that we're getting a decrease in values, they could be technically right. However, if you look back, I want to go one more year. I went back to 2024, and what I had documented is the median home price at this time in 2024 was 1,449. So you kind of see, this is normal because maybe last year we had more high-priced homes on the market, or maybe this year we have more entry level. I mean, I've told you a few times about stories with multiple offers going up. So maybe the invitation prices are coming in more attractively to drive those prices up. And I think that that's kind of what's happening, at least around here. That being said, I want to say that your home is only worth what someone's willing to pay for it right now if you're selling. It's different than an appraisal. I've seen and I've heard and I've experienced where people are coming on at really attractive prices and rejecting good offers because the seller has this idea of a price that reflected previous markets or previous times, and interest rates and different things factor into that. So the only other thing I want to say, so those are three different median home prices right now in Santa Cruz County, is how have our decrease rates gone? Well, this time of year, we have a lot of new listings come on. And so We're not going to see those high decrease percentages right now because people are testing out the market and they haven't been on the market long enough to see if it's worth decreasing. Currently, we are at 29% in Santa Cruz County as an average, and last year we were at 24. But last year we had 398 homes on the market with a 96-day average. And this year we only have 345 homes on the market with a 112-day average. So, I mean, I kind of feel like we're like in the same place because when I look at how many properties we had sold, currently last week we had 28 properties sell. Last year we had 37. Less inventory, more closes, and that's last year's numbers, closing up now. But in 2024, we had 32. So I'm not seeing this major change that the headlines are talking about. Just be careful what you're reading. And if you want some clarity of what's happening in your neighborhood, you're certainly welcome to call me and ask me, and we can sit down and take a deeper dive into it. What's selling? How are sales when we have 345 properties on the market, and that is just single family, that does not include the 119 condos, townhomes. We only had 23 homes go into escrow last week, but a year ago we had only 20. So we had higher sales but less places, and that also could have to do with the holidays, right? Like if you're on Easter, we just got done with spring break, people are not necessarily thinking about that. They're thinking about like getting back from, their vacations and getting their kids back into school. So the one thing that I thought was a really nice contrast to be looking at is a lot of people are talking about interest rates, and they're kind of like, all over the place, and they are, but they're pretty solid. We today are at 6.39%, and that's the fixed rate. So like if you go into the broker or lender, you can probably get something much less, but this is the fixed rate. And so I like to use those whenever I'm telling you guys, because that's the base. Last year we were at 6.98, and in 2024, this very same week, we were at 7.30. So things are getting better out there. It's never going to be an exact. This is a market of change, ebb and flow, and the right time is when it's right for you. So anyway, I just wanted to get out and say hello, say I miss you. I hope you guys had a great holiday season. Ann just went back to Texas, and we're done with the spring holiday and jumping into game season. So anyway, I hope you guys are all great. Take care. Bye-bye.